We're here to talk about a proclamation for International Dark Sky Week, and I'm joined by Eileen, who's a Dark Sky International advocate. The group measures and monitors light pollution and promotes light pollution solutions, and they believe less light at night improves our health and our environment. And also joined by Helen Van Rissen, Dark Sky International advocate from Maryland. So I think maybe you should explain what dark sky is. Maybe not everybody understands what we're talking about.
What dark sky is about, what our purpose is to raise awareness of light pollution, which is basically light that we create down here that ends up going up into the sky and makes the sky bright when really what you need to just light up the ground below. If you were have street lights outdoors, or you want to light up roads or walkways, but a lot of the light, if the light fixtures aren't good, ends up going up in the sky and making it so you can't see the stars, and also confuses animals that are migrating, and it's bad for people. Messes with people's circadian rhythms, and that's what we're trying to do, is raise awareness about light pollution so we can do something.
Do you want to add something to that?
Sure. Light pollution's been growing at twice the rate of the population, and it's been doubling every 8 to 10 years. They keep dropping that figure. And in some places, scientists have predicted that in 20 years, no stars will be visible. And this Washington, D.C. metropolitan area is one of those spots. So along with what Helen said of the light pollution blotting out our view of the sky, as she said, it negatively impacts many parts of our world, the birds and our human health. And so part of the human health consequences is that light pollution's been linked to cancers, breast and prostate, anxiety, depression, heart diseases, diabetes, and of course sleep disorders. So this is a very serious problem. And Dark Sky International was created in 1988. The astronomers were the canaries in the coal mine in the 70s who saw this problem growing, and it's only gotten worse over time. So we're hoping to raise a lot more awareness about it. And
So there's some things that we do, or our lighting policy is to make sure the lights are downward facing and that they have a limited spread.
Yes.
I think the biggest thing that we should do that we haven't done is require building lights to go off at night. It is really heartbreaking, just from an environmental perspective, to see buildings lit up at night
When nobody's
there's
there.
nobody there.
Yes.
And when I just got back from this trip to Taiwan, and one of the things we saw was lots of buildings with absolutely no lights on. So at nighttime, it was dark, and it was darker than it otherwise would have been had those building lights been on. So I think this is important work, and I've read about the health on human beings and certainly the effects on animals. So we know this is a health problem and an environmental problem, and we actually can control the solutions pretty easily.
Yes. The easiest thing, you can turn the lights off.
Yes.
I mean, that's-
This is not rocket science.
No. And Dark Sky International actually has a program where you can certify your home dark sky friendly. So you just take a lighting inventory, find out, do your lights have a use? Are they targeted, like shining down? Are they a warm color temperature? And encouraging people to use timers and dimmers. And as Ellen said, the easiest thing is just turn your lights off. So we all need light to traverse our area safely, but it doesn't have to be on all the time. And the technology has advanced far enough that we have programmable, dimmable, targetable lights.
Yes.
So we just need to, and it's expensive once you put in street lights, the infrastructure to swap these things out.
Yes.
So it's very important that the choices being made now are, smart and intelligent ones. And
But we're going to keep doing what we can with streetlights. And I know that home lighting is an issue, and we've had residents raise issues with somebody else's lights, which light up their backyard and go into their house when they don't want any lights in their house. So I think we're going to continue to push for lights being used that are actually contain the light to where you actually need the light to be.
Yeah.
No one needs
That's
to
the
light up the
trick.
neighborhood.
That's all you need is the light you need.
And the color temperature of the light is a big issue too. So you'll be driving around and you'll notice that there's really bright white light bulbs on somebody's house right next to it, like a nice warm colored one. Well, once we got into the LED lights, people just don't, I mean, it's taken me a while to understand this. They just don't understand how bright and white the lights are. So it's this blue-white spectrum that's so deadly to the plants, to the animals, to our health. And it wasn't an issue when you went to the store to pick a light bulb out in years past because you didn't have all these choices. But I mean, I get a headache going to
It's
Home
overwhelming
Depot.
choices, the light bulbs today. It's
Yeah.
very difficult.
And so a better choice is to look for an amber bulb, and there's something called kelvins, which is that color temperature, and you really want to move that down to below 2200. And so we're really pushing to lower these levels. And again, with the light trespass, you know, I always say I don't have a right to trespass onto your property. Why do my lights? So we're asking people to be kind and considerate and to be smart and responsible with their outdoor lighting.
And you can save energy too, but we
Yes.
could all save energy by not lighting things we don't need to light up. Because that's wasted energy to produce light that's not needed.
All my outdoor lights are on either a timer or on motion activated. So they're there when you need them. You open the front door, the light comes on.
Yep,
But they're not
that's
there when
perfect.
you don't need it. And if
Perfect.
somebody comes up to visit, the light comes on. So it does what it's supposed to do. And you get lit, but it's not on all night long.
Sounds great.
It works. So let me read this proclamation. And it says, whereas the aesthetic beauty and wonder of a natural night sky is shared heritage of all humankind, and the experience of standing beneath the starry night sky inspires feelings of wonder and awe and encourages a growing interest in science and nature, especially among young people. And whereas Maryland's national, state, and local parks are home to dozens of species who rely on undisturbed night environment to hunt, mate, and thrive, and whereas 80% of the world's population lives under a dome of light pollution and may never experience the visual wonder, ecological, and health benefits of living under a dark sky, and whereas light pollution has scientifically established economic and environmental consequences which result in significant impacts to the ecology and human health of all communities, and whereas light pollution represents a waste of natural resources amounting to roughly $3 billion per year of wasted energy in the United States, contributes to diminishing energy security and significantly reducing light pollution would save Maryland residents tens of millions of dollars per year. And whereas Dark Sky International is the globally recognized authority on light pollution and has created International Dark Sky Week to raise awareness of light pollution and provide free education, resources, and solutions to the public to encourage the protection of and enjoyment of dark skies and responsible outdoor lighting with the help of Maryland residents. Now therefore do I, Mark Elrich, as County Executive, hereby proclaim April 2nd to 8th as International Dark Sky Week in Montgomery County, and I call this observance to the attention of all Montgomery County residents, and let us all celebrate the pristine and undisturbed dark skies throughout the state, and take a moment to ponder our role in protecting this valuable resource and our connection to the environment for future generations.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. I mean, I remember when I was a kid and you could see far more of the sky than you see today. The light contrast was a lot sharper for stars or for satellites, which
Yeah,
we used to
that's a whole
watch
nother-
the satellites at night. That was a big deal when the first, like, I think it was Echo was one of the first big ones that went up, and everybody went out to look at Echo. So it's a lot different, and now the only time you see the Milky Way really is when you're away from here, and that's another change that's happened. So thank you all for being part of this. And
Thank you.
Let's take a picture of this together out in front of the podium.
Okay.
Is it the back a little? Yeah, no, that's good. No, yeah, perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, thank
Yes.
you.
And I really want to thank Montgomery County for all the work that you all have done, because it's been years that
Mm-hmm.
you, little by little, and, you know, I'm kind of new to this whole thing, and so I'm really appreciative of every jurisdiction that saw this coming and started taking
Yeah, we're chipping away
action.
at this.
Yeah,